Second.
Good evening. May 8, 2024 council meeting of the Long Branch City Council will now come to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Vieira.
I'm here.
Dr. Vogt.
Here.
Mrs. Wittes.
Here.
Dr. Selly is absent. Mr. Dangler.
Here. Stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
The Long Branch Mayor, City Council, Administration are committed to cultivating an environment of mutual trust and respect the values of the diversity of our community. We will strive to enhance the quality of life for all who live here by making Long Branch a desirable place to live and prosper. We will treat all members of the public with respect and expect the same in return. Madam Clerk.
I hereby certify that this meeting has been published in the newspaper in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act and posted as required by law.
Thank you. Need a motion to approve the minutes from the April 24th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Vieira.
Yes.
Dr. Vogt.
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes.
Yes.
Dr. Selly is absent. Mr. Dangler.
Yes. Consideration of ordinances, public hearing, and final consideration. 08-24. The calendar year 2024 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriations limits and to establish a capped bank, NJSA 40A 4-45.14. This ordinance was introduced on April 10th, 2024, establishes a capped bank, NJSA 40A 40-45.1, provides that in the preparations of the annual budget, the municipality shall limit any increases in said budget to 2.5% unless authorized by ordinance to increase to 3.5% over the previous year's final appropriation, subject to certain exceptions. NJSA 40A 4-45 15A provides that a municipality may, when authorized by ordinance, appropriate the difference between the amount of the actual final appropriations and the 3.5% rate as an exception to its final appropriations in either the next two succeeding years. This ordinance allows for the appropriation increase above 2.5%. I need a motion to open a public hearing on this ordinance only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. If there's any member of the audience that has any comments to make on this ordinance only, please come to the podium, state your name and address clearly for the record. You will have 5 minutes and may only speak once on the ordinance 24.
Requesting 1 minute notification, Vincent Lepore, 33 Ocean Terrace, Long Branch. Mr. Martin, how is it that the council finds it necessary to increase its current year 2024 budget by up to 3.5% over the previous year's final appropriations?
This ordinance allows for that. More so, it creates the ability to have a bank and create a bank of excess appropriations for future years.
So the question was, how is it that the council finds it necessary? So because the ordinance allows it, that's why it's being done? Where is the necessity?
It actually isn't an increase. All your banking is the authorization to do it. Is that correct, Mr. Martin?
This ordinance gives the authorization to bank, correct?
Correct. So all you're banking the authorization, so if it would allow you to go to 3.5%, and that extra 1% is something that we put in the bank, so if next year, God forbid, there's a hurricane and you need extra money, you would have the ability next year to increase it. But it doesn't actually appropriate the money, so it's not actually raising the budget that much.
Then why are we then, Mr. Martin, why are we doing it in the first place if there's no necessity?
We don't know if there's gonna be a necessity. It's like an insurance policy.
Mr. Martin, in the ordinance are the words, "To promote the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of the city." Can you please tell me how this ordinance promotes the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of the city?
Budget appropriations are
He
police,
does it every year.
garbage
Every
pickup,
single
health
year,
department,
every single year.
health, safety, and welfare.
The answer is what we said before, which is that this is an insurance policy, so that, for instance, that next year there's a hurricane and we need to spend more money because we need to clear streets and we need to take down trees and we need to repair buildings, we'd be able to appropriate in that year. So it's a hedge against a future need. That's all it is.
I still
It's a
don't,
you ask the same question every year. It's a cap bank. It's not an actual appropriation. It's not like we're putting money someplace and we're appropriating it and taking it from the taxpayers. We're just allowing, and by the way, that would be subject to a budget being adopted at that time after public hearing, but it's not actually appropriating any money.
the ordinance is needless because there's been a failure this evening to establish, quote, as in the ordinance, the word necessity to perform this. The city's in no position, this council, to make any decisions on anything financial. We've learned this with 3 years of Kushner audits not being accounted for, the garage audit of Pier Village 3, a piece of financial malfeasance, and this council thinks it's competent enough to start ruling on financial ordinances. Besides that, it's about time the residents of the cities start looking at referendums on measures like this instead of leaving it to the council. This matter should be put before a referendum for the people. A referendum is the way to go. I'm requesting a no vote on ordinance 88. No.
I need a motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This is the second reading of ordinance 008-24. Need a motion to adopt in the second and final reading and advertise according to law.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly is absent. Mr. Dangler?
Yes. Ordinance for introduction. This is the first reading of ordinance 09-24 entitled an ordinance authorizing the sale of one property on 200-202 Belmont Avenue. Belmont Avenue, Long Branch, known as Block 280, Lot 15, to IAJ Belmont LCC pursuant to a redevelopment agreement. The ordinance authorizes the city of Long Branch to vacate the property pursuant to the redevelopment agreement. I need a motion to introduce on the first reading, advertise and post it according to law, and set for public hearing on May 22nd, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly is absent. Mr. Dangler?
Yes. This is the first reading of ordinance 10-24 entitled an ordinance authorizing the purchase of block 436.01, lots 29 and 31 in the city of Long Branch from the New Jersey Department of Transportation. The purpose of this ordinance is to authorize the purchase of block 436.01, lots 29 and 30 in the city of Long Branch from the New Jersey Department of Public Transportation, and incorporate said properties into a pocket park location at block 436.01, lot 27, in the vicinity of Ocean Boulevard and Atlantic Avenue. I need a motion to introduce the first reading, advertise and post it according to law, and set for public hearing for May 22nd, 2024.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly is absent. Mr. Dangler?
Yes. Ordinance 11-24, this is the first reading of ordinance 11-24, entitled an ordinance of the City of Long Branch approving the adoption of redevelopment plan for non-condemnation Broadway and Sixth Avenue redevelopment area, consisting of block 268, lots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 32, and 33. The purpose of this ordinance is to adopt redevelopment plan for non-condemnation for Broadway and Sixth Avenue, blocks 268, lots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 32, and 33. Need a motion to introduce on the first reading, advertised and posted according to law, and set for public hearing for May 22nd, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly is absent. Mr. Dangler?
Yes. This is the first reading of ordinance 12-24, entitled an ordinance amending chapter 296, storm sewers of the Code of the City of Long Branch by creating an Article 3, privately owned salt storage. The purpose of this ordinance is to establish requirements for privately owned salt storage and other de-icing materials on property not owned by the city in order to prevent said materials from being exposed to storm water. I need a motion to introduce on the first reading, advertised and posted according to law, and set for public hearing on May 22nd, 2024.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly is absent. Mr. Dangler?
Yes. Public participation for resolution, all general comments. I need a motion to open the public portion of this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? If there's anyone in the audience that has a comment to make, please step to the podium, state your name and address clearly for the record. You will have 5 minutes and may only speak once.
Requesting 1-minute notification, Vincent Lepore, 33 Ocean Terrace, Long Branch. Resolution 100, excusing the absences, Councilwoman Selly from meetings for a period of May 8th tonight until such time she returns to City Council. Council President Dangler, where is Councilwoman Selly currently residing?
Where is she residing?
Residing.
I believe on Morris Avenue.
She's actually,
I said I believe, I don't, that she lives on Morris Avenue. I wasn't told different.
does anybody on this council know where Mary Jane Selly is living? Nobody. And you're going to vote on this. 4816-3E of the New Jersey statutes states, it would be the determination of the members of the governing body should a council member be physically or mentally incapable of serving. She hasn't participated in an electronic meeting in quite some time. Has council moved for any type of judicial determination to fill her seat?
No.
No. All right. 4816-3C, New Jersey statute. She no longer resides in Long Branch. She can't be on this council. She's at a healthcare facility in Tinton Falls or West Long Branch. It doesn't count to be a council person. She has to actually physically be living in Long Branch.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. It's by the state statute.
Well, there's a question of what residency is and what domicile is, but if you're in a hospital...
It's the state statute.
Assuming, by the way, I don't know this to be true, but if you were in a hospital, that doesn't mean you no longer live here. God forbid, Mr. Lepore, you should be in a hospital for a long time. It wouldn't mean you're not a resident of Long Branch. It'd mean you're in a hospital. That's a horrible thing to say. You should be ashamed of yourself.
No, this council is withholding from the public a seat of a representative by catering to a council person who no longer is residing in this city.
So Mr.
That's
Lepore,
wrong. I don't want to hear your comments.
Mr. Lepore,
I don't want to hear your comments.
you're reading from...
I'm against Resolution 100. No. She should not be further excused. Mr. Martin, since the last council meeting, have you had the opportunity to review the 2022 Pier Village 3 audit of the garage?
No,
No. You had 2 weeks to review it. Why?
I had more important things to occupy my time.
You have more important things to do to occupy your time than to review the garage audit of Pier Village 3 and to pursue Charles Kushner's Pier Village 3, 3 years' worth of audits.
That wasn't the question you asked me.
Well, that's what it's coming down to. You know, Mr. Martin, as a CFO, you're exercising financial malfeasance right now. Severe financial malfeasance. Mr. Martin, the Pier Village 3 financial agreement required that the audits be forwarded to the New Jersey DCA. Have you conferred with the DCA that indeed the audit has been forwarded to them?
I did not forward the DCA this time.
No, that the audit was forwarded by Barnett to the DCA.
I did not confirm that, no.
Great government, counsel, great government. Mr. Martin, did you make inquiries after the sale of the garage in June 2022 with the Monmouth County Tax Board
1 minute notification.
as to whether a determination of the garage tax exemption was warranted?
I did not.
You did not. Mr. Martin, it should have been clear to both the Long Branch Assessor's Office and the Monmouth County Tax Board that upon the sale of the Pier Village 3 garage in June 2022, that a redetermination of the garage as a wholly owned part of the common areas of the lofts should have been undertaken and that the tax exemption should have been canceled. As such, Mr. Martin, shouldn't the garage now carry both a land and improvement assessment?
I do not make assessments or value land. That is not in my purview.
Mr. Martin, as the CFO, you have exerted nothing but financial malfeasance this evening. Don't you think it's about
5
time
minutes.
you stop covering for incompetent Mayor John Pallone and start standing on your own 2 legs and upholding your oath as a CFO for the people of this city instead of perpetuating the Pallone junk government?
I need a motion to close the public portion of the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the list of resolutions?
No changes have been made.
Thank you. We can take a list of resolutions as a consent agenda. I need a motion.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly is absent. Mr. Dangler?
Yes. Applications, we have none. Miscellaneous business for the good of the order. Councilman Vieira.
Good evening, and thanks for coming out tonight. I appreciate it when we have some people in the audience out there. I'd like to thank the chiefs for coming up and supporting us here and doing a great job they do. And thank you and good night.
Councilwoman Vogt.
Thank you, Council President. So I want to give a shout out to the whole team of people who put together our disability fair, which happened last weekend on Saturday. The weather didn't cooperate too much, it was freezing cold, but we had a very nice turnout, and the whole parking lot, the whole area that was set up was filled with tables offering services for people with a whole range of disabilities. We had a nice turnout of people who were seeking services, and so kudos to the whole team. Maybe if you could pass that along to the folks that put that together. It was very, very well done. And last, Happy Mother's Day to those of you that it applies to. Enjoy, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Councilwoman Wittes.
Hi, good evening, and thank you for coming tonight. I also would like to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day. And also, we just got this for the bands that will be coming to Long Branch, and it's in less than a month, so summer's going to begin, and I'm excited about that. And with that, wish everyone a good week. and see you in 2, right?
Mayor Pallone?
Thank you, Council President. I'd just like to thank everyone for being here this evening. Just had to make a couple of announcements for some upcoming events. The city is having a free citywide yard sale next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, the following Saturday, May 18th, and Sunday, the 19th, from 9 to 5 p.m. No permits are required for this event. We're offering more free art classes, and events continue at the Long Branch Arts and Cultural Center. Check out our website for the latest exhibit and class and event schedules. And finally, the Long Branch Fire and History Museum is now open. Check again our website for the schedule. Admission is free is there as well, and we have quite a few pieces of equipment, including a 1880 Babcock chemical engine and other vehicles on display. So whenever you have a chance, please check out the website for the schedule. Thank you all for coming again this evening, and have a great week.
I too would also like to thank everyone for coming out and wish everyone happy Mother's Day, including possible few of the fathers who are stepping in as mothers for whatever reason, and enjoy the weekend, and see you in a couple weeks. Need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
See you in 2 weeks.